Students, welcome to class 10 biology lesson number 17. Students, we all know that the plant absorbs water through the roots and this water is transferred right up to the leaves with the help of the xylem vessels. Now the question arises, is all the water that is absorbed by the roots used by the plant? The answer is no. Only 1 to 2% of the total water absorbed is used by the plant for photosynthesis and other life processes. Then what happens to the rest of the water? The rest of the water is lost to the environment by a process called transpiration. Now, is transpiration necessary for the plant? The answer is yes. It is necessary to throw out excess water which is absorbed by the roots. Second, it helps in transportation of minerals from the roots right up to the leaves where it is required. And third, it keeps the plant cool during the summer months. Now, what is transpiration? It is loss of water in the form of vapors from the aerial parts of the plant. We will explain this with the help of an experiment. Take 2 well-watered potted plants, preferably with broad leaves. Keep them on a glass table and set them up as shown in the figure. That is, in the first setup, place the potted plant covered with the lower portion of which is covered with an oil cloth and cover it with a bell jar. In the second setup, place the second potted plant covered with the oil cloth on the lower portion so that no water is lost from the soil, and place a paper of cobalt chloride in it. In the third setup, place only the cobalt chloride paper. Now seal the 3 bell jars, mouth of the bell jar, with the help of paraffin wax or Vaseline. Leave this arrangement for a short period of time. What do you observe? In setup A, water droplets appear on the inner side of the bell jar. In setup B, water droplets appear and the blue cobalt chloride paper changes to pink. You can see it very well in the figure shown. In setup C, no water droplets appear and no change in color is seen in the cobalt chloride paper. Inference of the experiment. In setup A and B, water lost in the form of vapors from the aerial parts of the plant is from the aerial parts of the plant and not from the soil because it is covered with oil cloth. Water vapor condenses as droplets and can be seen on the inner surface of the bell jar. In setup B, the cobalt chloride changes color from blue to pink because of the presence of water in it. Actually, cobalt chloride is an indicator which changes color in the presence of water. In setup C, cobalt chloride does not change color because of the absence of the plant, hence no water vapor. This also goes to prove that there is no water vapor in the atmosphere. Setup C represents control experiment. Now let us see the difference between transpiration and evaporation. Transpiration is loss of water from the surface of the cell. Evaporation is loss from the free surface of water. Transpiration is a physiological process, whereas evaporation is a physical process. It involves living tissues, whereas evaporation involves non-living matter. It is influenced by anatomy of the transpiring organ. That is, there is a difference in transpiration if it is a stomata or cuticle or lenticel. There is no such influence. It is regulated by the amount of soil water available. Transpiration depends upon the amount of water that is present in the soil. If there is no more water present in the soil, there is more transpiration. If there is less water present in the soil, the transpiration is less. It goes unchecked as long as there is water. Now, how do we measure transpiration? In this experiment, we will measure transpiration using a weighing method. Now, take a well-watered potted plant and cover the lower portion with an oil cloth. Place this on a weighing machine. What do you observe? On weighing it successively, After short intervals of time, it is found that the weight of the potted plant goes on decreasing. Inference: loss in weight of the potted plant is due to loss of water from the exposed part of the plant by transpiration. This is because the exposed part of the soil is covered by the oil cloth. That means only water that is lost is from the exposed portion of the plant. Weighing with this is a second experiment which we are conducting using a being balance, and instead of a potted plant we'll be using a leafy shoot. Now take 2 test tubes and fill them with equal amount of water. Place a drop of oil in both the test tubes so that no water is lost from the surface by evaporation. In one of the test tube, place a twig, and in the second, place weights so that both are balanced. It is very clearly seen in the diagram. Now what do you observe? Continuous loss of weight is seen from the pan containing the leafy shoot. This is the reason why weight has to be added to pan A to balance the weight of pan B. Inference: the only cause of loss of weight in pan A is due to loss of water because of transpiration from the exposed part of the leafy shoot. The weight of the water lost is equal to the weight that has been placed in pan A to balance the two pans. Now we will measure the rate of transpiration with the help of Ganong's potometer. Now what is a potometer? A potometer is a device to measure the amount of water absorbed by the plant. But we all know that the amount of water that is absorbed by the plant, only 1 or 2% is used by the plant and the rest of it is lost because of transpiration. That means we can use this device to measure the amount of water lost because of transpiration. Now, this is the figure that you see is the Ganong's potometer. It consists of a Z-shaped tube which has a broader end and a narrow one. In the broader end, we place a twig. What type of twig do we place? We take a twig which has broad leaves. We cut it under water so that no air enters the xylem vessels, and we make the slit oblique so that the surface area increases for absorption of water. Place it as it is shown in the figure and make this arrangement airtight. Now fill this entire apparatus with water from the reservoir by way of the reservoir. After this is done, this whole setup is ready for the experiment. Take a beaker containing colored water and place it under the narrow end of the tube. Now leave it for some time. You will find that the colored water has started to rise. As soon as this happens, lift this bent tube above the colored water and allow air to enter inside. Then place it back in the colored water. What do we observe? The air bubble which was introduced starts moving towards the end containing the leafy shoot. Colored water is also seen moving in the same direction. When the air bubble reaches the measuring tube, you can start the experiment and you can calculate the amount of water lost at regular intervals. Inference: water is lost from the aerial parts of the leafy shoot because of transpiration, and a transpirational pull is created. Due to the transpirational pull, water is taken from the horizontal tube. In turn, the water is taken from the beaker, resulting in the movement of the air bubble. The rate of water uptake can be calculated by timing the air bubble movement over the fixed distance on the scale. The experiment can be repeated by opening the knob of the reservoir and allowing water to come down, making the air bubble move back to the original position. Now, the most important part of this experiment is its limitation, which is very important from the examination point of view. Introduction of the air bubble in the capillary tube is difficult. Various changes in the environment like humidity, temperature, air velocity may influence the position of the air bubble. Third, the leafy shoot may not remain alive for sufficient time to make the right observations. Now let us come to the types of transpiration. There are 3 types of transpiration that we see. First, stomatal transpiration, loss of water vapor from the microscopic pores which we call stomata, surrounded by special cells called guard cells, is known as stomatal transpiration. You can see in the figure the guard cells, when they are closed, the other time they are open. When they are open, water is lost through them. About 90% of the water lost by transpiration is by stomata. Next we come to is lenticular transpiration. Water lost through lenticels in woody stems and fruits is called lenticular transpiration. Actually, lenticels are present in the stem for the purpose of respiration, and water is lost through them. About 1 to 2% of the total water lost by transpiration is by this method. Lenticels do not have guard cells. You can see that. They remain open all the time. The third type of transpiration is cuticular transpiration. That is, transpiration taking place from the cuticle. What is a cuticle? Cuticle is a waxy substance which is secreted by the epidermal cells. They are impregnable to water, but still transpiration does take place through them. Transpiration is also takes place through direct evaporation of water from the outer walls of the epidermal cells, even though they are impregnable to water. This loss of water by evaporation through the cuticle is called cuticular transpiration. It constitutes 10% of the total loss of water through transpiration. With this, we end this class for now. Thank you, children. Take care and God bless you all.